What is it that drove you from the childhood?
I think it's this really young girl who was very confused, not great at academics, didn't even know she had dyslexia. The only thing I was very good at was art. So I would make like 3D objects out of paper, make earthenware out of like mud.
It was a therapy for you.
It was therapeutic, absolutely.
What are those new Gen Z words that you learned?
It's like every time I learn one, there's something else that comes up.
Riz is a word.
Riz.
Do you want to sing?
I will try to fix you.
But even after the song, you're still calm.
I'm quite, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should catch me on a Monday morning if you want to
Yeah.
see a more ruffled side.
Oh, I should ask Denzel maybe. Are you this calm person always?
No. There is a
I need to ask your
whirlwind and a
colleagues,
storm that happens all the time. I think it's all there. 2 or 3 years into advertising, that is, it's very, very chaotic.
Welcome to Beyond the Brief. My name is Sandeep Menon and I'm the Managing Director for Fat Monk Productions. Today's guest is somebody who just doesn't create ads. Her experiences that she creates with her creative stays even after the screen goes dark. She puts an artistic touch to every single campaign or a film that she approaches. And I'm really glad to have Siddhi Yadav on this show today. She's the ECD, Executive Creative Director for McCann Mumbai, who comes with a bunch of experience and a lot of artistic talent with respect to, say, sand art, or whether it is illustrations, or whether it's direction. So I would love to explore the artistic side of Siddhi on this show. I would love to show everyone what is it that Siddhi does apart from advertising. Yeah, and we'll deep dive into a couple of great international and the Indian campaigns that you have done. And let's just go beyond the brief with everything that you have done, and let's just kickstart the show.
Lovely. Thanks, Sandeep, for having me. This is super exciting. It's my first podcast, and I'm actually quite excited because I feel it's not about work, and it's about getting to know a person beyond that. So this is lovely. I'm super excited.
Thank you so much, Siddhi. Siddhi, I just want to basically before getting into any ad jargons or before anything, yeah, I just want to know what in art, or rather, what is it that drove you from the childhood? Let's say, let's rewind so many years back, and let's pick that inspiration. Today, if you think why you are here, if that one word comes into your head, what is that?
I think it's this really young girl who was very confused, not great at academics, didn't even know she had dyslexia.
Oh,
And
wow.
I feel like that was the starting point for me. The only thing I was very good at was art. I was very, very creative. That's what my mom keeps telling me. She's like, you never played with toys. You always created stuff. So I would make like 3D objects out of paper. I would cut things up and kind of put them back together very differently, make earthenware out of like mud. So they were like, they couldn't understand how I was learning all of this on my own, but I was like not so great at studies. So I think for me, art was like my escape because that was the place I was able to express the best. And then, of course, over the years, with a lot of help, etc., of course, I got great at academics too. But I think art really kind of soaked me in, and it kind of I loved everything, which was calligraphy, typography, illustration, painting. I used to teach art to children. So I really feel like that was the starting point, like this need to kind of feel better because I didn't know what was happening. And I think art really gave me that, gave me a lot of like comfort and a lot of fun. I
It
used
was
to
a
have.
therapy for you.
It was therapeutic, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. So if I have to go back to the other aspects of, apart from the ECD angle of yours, you're a sand artist. Yeah. And you do a lot of illustrations. how is it helping you in the current position that you're holding? And also, do you add this artistic part of it, or do you look at anything that is in your campaign, or whether it is in your ad films? Do you put the element of this in it?
Yeah, I think I did that like when I joined McCann back in 2005. I was like an art intern.
My God,
And we,
2005 to 2025, 20 years of
yeah,
journey, and
yeah.
in the
And at the
same
same
in
place.
the and
Yeah.
it's like you. I think it was a circle, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
you
like,
went out, came back, and then
yeah,
now it's like now it's been quite some time
yeah,
that you're with McCain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, from an art director to an ECD. That's a great
Yeah,
travel. Yeah.
yeah. And for us, like, I feel like at that time, because we had, like, we would hire illustrators, and most of the times, like, clients wouldn't have so much money. The brands that I worked on at the start were Western Union, Radio Mirchi, and they had like a quick turnaround. An ad a day is how we used to work. So some days, of course, you can do stuff with, like, say, stock images, etc. But the other times, like, there would be a need to do illustration. And once there was a time where the illustrators weren't free. So whoever we were reaching out to wasn't. And then I kind of took it on and I started illustrating. And then, of course, that campaign went through, many more went through. And then that almost became a way of working. So I remember till around 2013, a lot of the campaigns that I worked on, I hand illustrated or kind of helped the illustrators to kind of understand what we really wanted. Because I think it's best explained once shown. So that's how I used to kind of try and really integrate illustration into every piece.
Awesome. Let's say a campaign. Let's say a campaign. Let's do a fun activity. And if today you were to approach that, yeah,
Yeah.
versus those days, what is that drastic difference? And let's also add a bit of AI also in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
let's add the
course.
tadka of AI. And today, if you have to approach it, versus if say in 2008 or whatever
Yeah.
time that you had, let's
Yeah.
let's say that's the campaign.
Yeah, so this was another one which we had really enjoyed creating, which was for Mahatanda oil for Marico. And they were beautiful Madhubani illustrations. So they were almost like wall paintings or posters because not much needed to be written, but just kind of explained what does the product do. So it was my creative director then whose idea it was that, like a head is a radiator and like beautiful things come out of it. And we were looking for illustrators. We were like, we need to really detail and do this. And we just couldn't find anyone. So then I said, okay, I'm going to take this on. And I remember we'd illustrated, like after work hours, I would sit and kind of keep drawing. And we did like 3 of those. It won heavily across, different ad shows. But what was amazing was that it had the charm and the drawing feel of it, the irregularities, the flaws, all of that. Today, I know that if I wanted to just do that, it would have taken me 5 minutes. Like, I can just put the right prompts, just kind of try and, kind of course correct, and the ad is right there. So I feel there was a lot of, the beauty of the sweat. I think that's something that I miss now.
So, talking about that beauty of the sweat, I think like you and me, a lot of us have mentors and colleagues, for that matter, who has shaped up today our own careers. Yeah, in lots of ways. They didn't mean to teach you something, but the way they were taught you a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have to deep dive a journey from 2005 to 2025, certain important learnings and certain things. The reason why I'm asking you this is because for me, I've had a lot of bosses who even today, if you ask me a grind, there are names that faces that come in my head. Like grind is equal to so and so. Yeah. If you ask me where was the comfort zone, I don't remember those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which means that grind taught me. Yeah.
Of course.
And so, if in a way for you, do you have such kind of a grind which you went through? Especially why I'm asking you this is because no demeaning to any women, but I feel this is there's a point of view where in advertising now is when women are actually seen in the fullest glory.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of top position the women, and plus a lot of women joining advertising industry. So did all this have an impact?
No, I think I saw very, very few creative director women at that point in time, and even growing up, and even through my journey in advertising. So it was a very alien concept to believe that I could become a creative director, let alone anything further. I had some wonderful mentors, and I feel like when I say the word mentor, it's agnostic to the gender, and I was actually quite lucky to have very, very supportive and very open minded men who would kind of make sure that, of course, they respect the point that, yes, you are a woman, and, you have some different societal challenges that you also need to grapple with. But I think the way they kind of gave us opportunities, gave us the kind of briefs that we could work on, and really honed our talent and our confidence, that was amazing. So I think a couple of people I would name is, I would start naming by, my very first boss at work, which was Amber and Akshay. Later, my husband now, but my creative director then, which was Denzel Machado. Uh, as I started growing more, like I've seen Prasoon, also kind of really supporting and, helping us do what we need to. So Prasoon Joshi is like, I think he's a masterclass when he walks around and you have an interaction with him. And of course, my current NCD too, who is really, really supportive, gets it right. He knows the balance, etc. So I look up to him to understand how you can do it all, because it's like a huge position, so many pressures, but does it like effortlessly. So that's Ashish Chakravarti. So yeah,
Awesome.
these are some of the people who have really supported over the years.
So coming to that point, which is if today you were to join the McCann,
Right.
join in.
If I
Would
was
you,
younger, is what
yeah,
you're
if you
asking
if
me.
you if
Oh,
you if you
great.
were if
Okay.
you were younger, do you think the current scenario would be suitable for you, or do you think you would have walked out way long back?
I think I try to put myself in the younger talent shoes today. I feel like I definitely would have more options right now than I did back then, which would also make me spoil for choice and maybe not push as hard as I did. Because at our times, I felt like when you landed a good job at a good agency, like you roughed it out and you made sure that you made the most of the opportunity, which I now feel is, in a way, it's great because there are many more places where you can work and your work can be seen. But then I also feel like maybe you don't really hone your own personal talent or your personal craft because of that.
What is that first grind that comes in your head?
I think for me, it was right at the start. Like, I'd just moved in and I just started working. I was a trainee. Most of the people in the team had moved, they transitioned, and new people were still to come. So I was the only person. And then there were a couple of pitches, one after the other, which we had to work on. And I remember it was around 3-4 weekends that we were working like non-stop. So I realized that I had worked almost like a whole month without a break. I feel like those kinds of like physical grind, and then of course now I feel like there's a lot of mental grind. Like you have shorter timelines, larger expectations, tougher situations to solve. So I think the mental grind is way more now, I feel.
Do you want to talk about that book that you were
Yeah,
telling
so
me about?
there were these two interesting books that, again, so this is talking a little bit about, again, leadership and how to kind of be a good leader, because there is no real place where you're taught this, or it's always like self-learning, relying on great books. So if there is the book that is that I wanted to refer to was how to make friends and influence people. And this was again written in 1938, and it just said one very simple thing, that your success is dependent on 20% of your core skill set and 80% on how you manage people.
Very true
So
for an agency, right?
absolutely. So I realized this very early on, that I said, of course, I should be good at work, which is why, you love the craft of art and you really want to give it your time and hone it. But I think at the same time, if you cannot manage people and create people also who are as good as you or even better than you, I think that's the challenge that I think I would take on, and I still take on every single day.
No, that also brings the fact that when you joined as an art director, you were utilized as an art director 80%.
Yeah.
Versus now today when you are an
Yeah,
ECD,
absolutely.
your skill is utilized more for management decision making
Yeah.
than the art that you bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're more or less, it's QC which is more important. The quality
Yeah.
check, whether the standards
Yeah.
are met, mandates are met, things are done, and the core idea that you bring in.
Yeah.
After that, in between the entire execution process, it's the management skills which is more important.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think like as you grow, like you spend more times in meetings than you did on your own project, which was say maybe by hand, maybe on the computer while thinking, whatever that is. But uh, it's the smartness that we need to really develop and develop this human side to
Yeah.
understand that there are people who are working with you and get to know them, understand their skills. Again, not focus on weaknesses, look at what are their strengths, play all the strengths together from the team, and I think you can always outdo yourself.
Awesome. So you also had your bit of working with the international McCann,
Yeah.
where I think you were telling me that there was an internal competition that you guys
Yeah.
had, and you were shortlisted, and you had the opportunity to go to France and work there. Basically, I don't want you to talk about the experience rather, but I want you to talk about the highlights which basically shaped you in that 2 to 3 months, and from then, how did that take you ahead?
Yeah. Yeah, it was this interesting competition which was for all art directors in the network. And this is for the brand that I work on, which was L'Oreal Paris. And they have a global, worldwide meet that happens every summer. So they needed more art directors in McCann Paris to kind of help out. So we kind of went there to kind of help. And again, it was not like a transfer, it was just like a couple of months over there and then back to, Mumbai. But I think that experience was amazing because we saw how they worked on the larger campaigns. What was the attention to detail? I think that was just amazing. I worked on a particular project with this really, really renowned, creative director from New York, and it was like a 30-40 day grind on a layout. So it was really tough, and he wasn't solving it for me and telling me this is what you need to fix, and he would kind of tell me think about it, and I think that really kind of started shaping me and pushing me
Basically,
forward.
good rejections.
Very good rejections, but you don't feel that at that time. You feel like you're terrible and you're not
Yeah.
great at your work. But I think he really kind of pushed me to the edge, and of course the output was amazing. And then later he of course rewarded me by taking me for a global shoot, which I don't think anyone else had the opportunity for. So I think those were some of the learnings, like just seeing how they work, how everything is integrated, how well planned everything is, and at the same time, once it's shot, how beautifully you can execute it to the T. So I think that was the learning that I really brought back to Mumbai and to my team, and we started trying to create and emulate those models and kind of do better work here.
Are you this calm person always?
No, no, no. There is a
I need to ask your
whirlwind and a
colleagues, huh?
storm that happens all the time. I think it's all there, but I think I'd realized 2 or 3 years into advertising that it's very, very chaotic, and it's tough to kind of be to balance your emotions, balance your life. And I think like most of us and everybody in this modern day and age, you turn to spirituality, and that is what really was the turning point.
Absolutely. I mean, I think like how you say exercising and things are very important. Mindset
Yeah.
is what plays the first role. Before, because it's like this, no, without an engine, car doesn't run.
Oh.
So our engine is our mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need if you don't service it, it's going to get screwed up.
Yeah.
And if you daily take care of it, it's going to run for a really long time.
Yeah.
More than spirituality word, which is overrated also these
Yeah.
days, and a lot of people have lost the meaning also of
Meaning,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think discipline is
Yeah.
something which you kind of learn in that modest
Yeah.
trial of being spiritual. I don't think being spiritual is being religious.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
but being spiritual is basically the only way at this age you can make
Yeah.
yourself listen to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, it was Nichiren Buddhism that actually did this for me. And I was very young. I think I was 23. And I was at a point where I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. I always thought, I wanted to do animation or I wanted to be a graphic designer. But I felt like I'm in this place where I'm in advertising. Maybe I'm not so great at it, or should I even continue? And at that point in time is when I kind of started chanting, and I think it was the turning point, because it's all inward. That's what the best
Absolutely.
practices are. It's discipline, and it's looking inward, trying to fix yourself, get better, look at your own weaknesses, work on them. And I think in that process, like, I was actually a very shy person. So for me to think about doing this 5 or 10 years ago would have been impossible. Even for that matter, even when I draw and do sand art, my hands used to shiver because I knew so many people's gazes at me. But I think it was by regularly chanting, believing in yourself, really pushing yourself, doing the work that it takes, it kind of started working in this direction.
No, absolutely, no, because like how I said, only when you visualize yourself,
Yeah.
you get the right result out of you,
Yeah.
and you just need to take that 5-10 minutes to visualize yourself
Yes.
doing it,
Yes.
whatever it is, maybe.
Yeah.
And some call it some people call it as manifestation. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you visualize yourself doing things which has not happened,
Right.
and some call it self-realization, which is basically you just thinking about what you actually did yesterday or
Yeah.
today or right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
or think just like breathing, for that
Yeah.
example. The moment you can listen to your breathe,
Yeah.
that's when you are actually with yourself.
Yeah.
And then what you don't realize after some point of time is you've lost the track of that breathe also.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a wonderful thing, definitely, and we can just keep talking about it,
Yeah.
but let's
Yeah.
not divert. Yeah, cool. So tell me something. You won a lot of awards, okay? So of course, any awards does shape you, does make you known in the industry. And for an agency, I think awards are the key things, because I think throughout the year they're filling forms.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Throughout the year, basically, there is no awards where all the big agencies were there. But tell me something: how important is for an agency like a McCann or a BVD or a DDB Mudra to still prove themselves?
Yeah.
Ki we are the best.
I think it comes from you're almost putting your best creative work out there, and it's a litmus test to see how relevant it is, how many other creative people other than your own celebrate it. And I think, which was my experience on most of the juries that I have been a part of, whether it was at Jerity or whether it was at the Ad Fest or Abbey, one show this year, that you see work from different agencies, and it's like the first time that you see all of industry together. So region together, or one particular country together, and then you also realize where the industry is moving. So I think everybody works in their own silos, and of course we have our own clients and deadlines and whatever to achieve, but I think this is also an interesting point in time, because you take a step back and you look at it in an objective fashion, not just like, hey, the client wanted this, this was what the limitation was. But now when you look at it, it's work that is out there forever, right? So it
Absolutely.
needs to have meaningfulness, value, etc., and others should also find that. So I think awards definitely for younger talent, they get us noticed immediately. But like everybody says, that you are as good as your last award. So you have to keep pushing, but then there has to be this healthy boundary, because you can't expect yourself to win all the time. It's not possible. So, but you must keep trying to do your best. So I think it's to not get like elated when you win, and not to get so rejected and dejected when you don't, but take it in a way that, okay, this year is somebody's and the next year could be mine. So it's
Absolutely. I
important.
mean, but tell me something. Are there any campaigns which you think you have fought for in the, because ad industry is a handful of
Yeah.
people, yeah. And the best part is that you can't make enemies in ad industry, because
Yeah.
tomorrow, for all you know, he's your colleague
Yeah.
or a boss, yeah. So the best part in this now, is there a boardroom or a jam room inside that you have fought for that particular thing, which maybe client didn't believe in it, or maybe mandate match नहीं हुआ शायद,
Yeah.
yeah, कुछ ऐसे जो insight which basically you stood by it, and maybe it showed the result at the end of it.
Yeah, I think it was just right after I just came back from my maternity leave last year, and the first project I was given was again back on L'Oreal, and it was on their brand work and not on a product. Hence, there was a lot of discussion around it, global teams involved. And we had a very powerful Indian woman inside, the calibrations that women of India have to listen to. Like, you can do this, but don't try to excel at it. These are the kind of things most of the women sitting here in this room also would have heard that, yeah, you can be empowered, but make sure it's not too empowering that you become an inconvenience. So, this was the space that it was in. And we had to really explain to the global teams, all the stakeholders, and really believe that it's possible. And of course, then we had the best spoke to kind of deliver that idea, and that was Alia Bhatt. And that campaign and that film really, really meant something because it was powerful. It came from a woman, and it said something really, really strong that nobody can define my worth. My worth is my choice. So I felt like that was one campaign that I felt like we fought really hard in these discussions, where we had to keep putting our point of view and say that no, but this is relevant to the people in our country and the women over here who you want to kind of reach out to meaningfully. And then it actually saw the light of day, and it kind of started changing the way people saw the brand, interacted with it. It was not just like, here's the product, buy this.
Connecting from that, I'm just thinking, why do women have to fight for their thing? Yeah. So let's only talk with respect to an ad industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that disbelief that is there,
Yeah.
that is existing, that
It wasn't that because I was a woman and they weren't believing what I was saying. It was more a creative person's fight because I really believed in the idea, that yes, this is true. It is very insightful to the society that we are talking to. But I also feel the counter sometimes is that I feel like the prejudice has reduced. Earlier, like they would see a woman presenting and they would be like, are you sure she knows what she's saying? And will she be, worth the time that I'm spending and hearing this discussion? But I think now I see more rooms where we enter. Definitely, that no, you will have a valid point of view. And I think I'm also quite fortunate to be working in systems where there are many more women. So I feel somehow it kind of works very differently. Of course, I from time to time work on other brands, but I feel like now people understand that, it's not you can't undermine them. They would have a strong point of view. If they're coming here and the team is putting them to speak, like let them speak,
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
No, but still, I still feel in our industry, if I have to frankly speak, it's still there. The gaps are not filled. Maybe for a cinematographer, or maybe for a, like I would say, an editor. Of course, I myself know female editors and female DOPs who shoot fantastic and who edits very well. But it's more to think with. It's got more to think with. See, it's the perception which our industry kind of created and kept, which is donkey hours of work. It's a no discipline, frankly speaking, this industry. But then the fact is that we are all here only for the love of work. The fact that makes me to go to office every 2 days or 3 days is the fact that I don't do the same thing. If I was to do that, I would have retired at least long back. I would have saved my money and retired also long back. Now it's not that I'm not saving money, but at least I love the fact that I am doing something which ultimately might reach to have a great result. Yeah, like the show's name, Beyond the Brief itself, is the fact that we start with a brief, and that brief is what becomes tomorrow a campaign which wins the award.
right.
We were talking in a jam room, and then that's seen on the screen, and people are speaking now today instead of us. So yeah, I mean that journey is very important. The reason why I started this show was also to have a very casual conversation. In that process, have a learning also. Yeah. And definitely, your my 16, 18 years experience is taught me. But then, if I talk to you, it's as good as talking with 40 years of experience.
Don't age me too much.
No, that's yours and mine put together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Given the fact that we all have gone through the era of TVC, where the brief used to come in. From there, as a cut down of TVC came DVC. From DVC's cut down now comes as Reel. And now I'm just thinking, is it going towards AI-based deliverables also? Yeah, which is part of it, which could be a pre-teaser to the whole concept or campaign that you're thinking of. So I'm just, I mean, I love talking with everybody who comes on this show about AI because I feel that it's important to take everyone's view so that everybody else understands who's watching this that it's a trend which you need to cope up with.
Yeah.
And it's not something we need to fight against. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it didn't do anything wrong to us, no?
Yeah.
Today also it's just helping us. It's about how you take it, right?
Yeah.
So what is your take on being a creative person, like you just mentioned in the beginning of the show? Now it's a 5 minutes process for you to do an illustration.
Yeah.
But does that stop you from doing illustration?
Yeah.
What's your take on how AI would help you as a creative person?
I think just when I joined advertising, I remember computers had just come in and the same chatter around, it's going to replace people and it's going to be terrible. But of course, we used it as a tool. We learned it. We found the best way to employ it. We still drew by hand. We still scanned. We still did what we had to. So it was a way to integrate the human craft with whatever, of course, the advancement that tech brings along with it. So I think, of course, AI is something that I think me, my team, all of us, we kind of create special attempts to kind of integrate it into the way we work, because it can really elevate the product that you're pitching to the client, the timelines. It can really ease it off. So you get more time to think, which is very, very important. So I feel like not to fight it, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes if we just keep depending on AI too much and we stop drawing, we stop writing, we stop expressing, I think that's the part. So each person has to find their own balance.
But that's bound to happen, right, Siddhi?
Right.
Because even if you type an email in the at most best way it is, you would still want to check with AI at least once. Is this the best?
Sounding right?
Is this best that I've written? Everything is covered in it, and then you realize that okay, fine, this email is too AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go back to what you have written,
Right.
but you still are taking a verification from AI.
Yeah, sense check, I feel always like if something is possible, like I would have to spend, say, 10 hours on a stock site to find the right 3 pictures to fuse together. But if I could do it on, say, Mid-Journey and kind of create a starting point and then, of course, get there faster, that's great. But I feel it can't, you still imagine it in your mind first. So I feel like AI kind of takes everything from the collective pool of everything that everyone's seen, thought, heard, experienced, and put out there, and it kind of gives you a solution out of it. But I feel like what has not been thought or not been done yet is still within the human mind.
Definitely yes, but to a counter to that, the human brain, while jamming with AI, also ends up getting a thought which you never did also. So it's vice versa.
Yes.
Because maybe if you have to say a talk point of, say, if it's just a women empowerment ad, let's say,
Yeah.
what is that 10 points that that is most talked about in this world? Okay.
Yeah.
You get the prompt for that. Now you ask, because you got the prompt for that, now you ask AI, what is it that is least spoken about this? Now maybe you might get one prompt in that which is actually hitting your the spot.
So I feel the prompt also comes from the mind. It is the thinking that kind of propels it. So it right now, as the way it's being used, is still a tool, because you are thinking, you are wondering, you are trying to research something, analyze something, and hence you are, or trying to imagine something. But I feel like at the moment, it still requires us to think that what would be, otherwise I would have said, what's the best ad for this brand? And it should have given me that ad, right?
Absolutely.
So it requires a bit of human thinking. I think emotions and the humanness of it will always, you can feel things which sometimes, a machine maybe can't feel yet. So we don't know this. This is like a curve where a lot of, advancement is happening. But
no, definitely yes. I mean, we don't know in this current world whether that human touch is there or not there.
Yeah.
And after, as it goes, when we all get used to the trend, we won't even know even more.
Yeah.
See, like I wanted to ask a DOP friend of mine, or when we have a director friend of mine, I wanted to ask him, like, in this question in the head, do you see yourself walking into a set where after 5 to 10 years from now, you have to go and discuss with a robot how this film is going to be shot. This is the angle. This is because I see that there is a fully trained robot actually who can shoot today
Yeah,
in
yeah.
today's world. Yeah. Now, say for example, it becomes a trend and that catches becomes viral. The
Yeah.
word viral,
Yeah.
it becomes viral. It becomes a trend, and then that trend, if one person brings it, then 10% follows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then tomorrow that becomes your way to work.
Correct.
Yeah. So ultimately, then finally, what is the difference in between that angles and things what the robot bought versus that same lighting and creativity and mood and everything that the DOP bought? That will get lost, is what I feel, because
Yeah.
10 to 15 ads shot by the DOP versus one or two ads which is shot by that AI
Yeah.
can just replace the whole.
Yeah. Yeah, but I always feel like there are a lot of these artists whose work is getting, also replicated by AI. And when you see the craft of the artist and you know what it took that person to create one picture versus something that could be done the same, style I can create in 2 minutes or 5 minutes, great. But do you respect that work as much?
Yeah.
So of course you can create, like, tools exist, you can use any tool. How memorable or how celebrated will that work be? Is there something that you will remember for centuries, like, classics like Mozart and uh, they've never seen the success that the music is seeing now. It's eternal. The
Yeah.
person's gone, but that music and that piece still speaks to the humans of different times.
Yeah.
So I feel like it again depends. Like I said, each piece of communication is meant to do different things. So if I just want an interesting DP for the moment, yeah, great, maybe do it with AI. But if I want something that stays and I want this to be like an image that I want to capture, it's a milestone for my brand, or I want to create something very, very memorable, then maybe I'll put in that much love and craft in it, right? So it directly corresponds to the labor that you put into it. And again, who's putting in that labor?
Awesome. Do you think everything that you learn in this industry, or rather, can there be a course for advertising,
Yeah.
or is self-learning or leadership, mentorship, is that a way to go about? Then in that case, then why do we need to do a BSc, MSc
Right.
in advertising, MBA in advertising? Yeah, if everything could be self-learned, like as much as I tell the guys who join my company saying that they're going for MBA and other things, I say that चल ठीक है जा 2 साल के बाद मिलते हैं
Yeah.
बट एट द
Correct.
एंड ऑफ द डे वो स्माइल के साथ मैं बोलता हूँ कि चल तू चिल करने के लिए जा रहा है ना एट द एंड ऑफ द
Yeah.
डे
Yeah.
वापस आके यही सीखना है
Correct.
okay so that's my mindset maybe yeah but if you ask me what did I learn from my MBA in media and entertainment well I learned terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got good teachers who helped me even now. Like, I would say I got a first job because of the guest lecturer who came to teach me there.
Nice.
So those are my help. So yeah, so this is what I think kind of brings that whole journey of yours, and every single person is important in that journey,
Yeah.
from your mentor to everyone.
Correct.
Yeah, and that leadership quality is only built by looking at somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can never be embedded in you because you were never born as a leader.
Yeah. You need to observe and learn, I think.
Awesome. Okay, how do you handle the salvage situations in agency where now you know that the client is going to flip? Yeah, and where for the fact that there could be whatever the reason may be. There could be a past reason or current reason or whatever it is. Yeah. Ultimately, you could talk with some example also in this where how seamlessly you can salvage certain situations, so that because for an agency an account is
Yeah.
the god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately their ultimate thing is that account, and that entire people who are part of that account has to be happy.
Yeah.
So now, if in this whole process, to keep up everyone's happiness and everyone's ego massages and everything right in
Yeah.
place, how do you salvage the situation?
Yeah, I think, like, when you enter, many, many different boardrooms where you feel like, the client is unhappy, has decided to move on. due to any reason. It could be past colleagues' work, it could be some small slip up in a campaign. These are real daily life challenges, and I think it's an entire team, and there can be human error, but it sometimes can be really tough for the client as well. So they want it to be treated with a lot of severity. But I think when I enter such situations, and there were two, three which I had kind of found myself in, one thing that I feel which is very important is, as a mark of a good creative leader, and all the ones that I can think of from my years, over the years that I have seen, they always remained calm in that chaos, right? So that's the first superpower I think you need to really find a way to. So you cannot be as disgruntled as the client, and that's not going to get anyone anywhere. It will create more of a mess than clean the cause. But I think then you go there and say, okay, we come with a fresh slate. Tell me what you want me to fix, and give me a shot. Give me a fair shot. And it takes a lot of time sometimes, because you really want to, you really go and impress the client, do your best. Don't let all that past chatter come in, and no blame games. Hey, this one did this, that one did that. It's a business that we're in. It's extremely, so not to be too emotional. I think that's something we as women also, we've learned as we work, that of course emotions have their place, but at these times it requires like sharp, clean leadership, and every client loves great work.
Is
So
that
I think,
your message for the upcoming? I want to
yeah,
also ask you that. I mean, because it would inspire a lot of people who's watching this show. Uh, what are those? What are those things that that you would want people? Like it's like this now. If I know 10 mistakes what you did,
yeah,
then I'm not going to make those 10
yeah,
mistakes.
yeah,
Yeah. So if I have to say point out that four things in the interest of time.
yeah.
Yeah. So what are those? What are those things that you would want to say the people that, okay, fine, prepare for this so that you can be a
And who
benefit
who do you want me to say
to
this
the
to?
to upcoming, let's say the upcoming women who are joining the agency, to let it be your colleagues also.
Right,
Yeah, who's watching this?
right,
Maybe there is another side which they can realize
yeah,
by this, because I also sometimes don't think that way.
yeah,
So if there's a message that you want to give out to all women,
yeah,
basically, in not just advertising,
yeah.
let it be all the other responsible field that a responsibility and a decision making is important. Let's say all the women who are part of that.
Yeah, I feel like I spoke about this recently at a talk as well. That I think I would urge all male colleagues, or even women in leadership roles, to always look at the youngest person in the room, even if it's the youngest girl in the room, and ask her opinion, because I think they really hesitate to speak. So I think give them the opportunity to be heard. Um, Give them that equal opportunity, and they will figure a way to earn their spot at the table. So you don't need to give it to them in pity, but if they really have it, you will see that they will very capably take that spot. And to the younger women, I would say, like, believe in yourself more. I think that's something that I feel I would tell my 10-year-old self, that you will be able to do it all. Just keep believing and don't give up. And yeah, everybody falls and tumbles along the way, but as long as you get back up and you push again, I am sure you will figure a way out. And other things that I feel like also, women to also take on a little more, ask for what they want, because I sometimes feel like we just anticipate the response and don't even ask, and then that's like a big challenge.
And men kind of don't, if you don't ask also, maybe men think that, okay, fine, that's okay,
Yeah,
and then it ends up saying that it's gone for, I mean, it's taken for granted.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So I think these are a few of the things which I think everybody knows, and I think also to be a little more sensitive to women when conversations are being held, because sometimes it could be something that you just say which was playful and it's not intended to hurt someone, but it's the same thing that sometimes you never know, something just kind of makes that person feel uncomfortable. So I think it's just about figuring a way to work better. I feel we're in a great spot, even in advertising and in the industry otherwise, that we have equal representation, we have more women in our workforces. But of course, there is a long way to go there yet. So how do we kind of integrate women and make them a part of the voice, of the industry?
Very well said. So let's have some fun side. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
So are you more of a music, singing, dance person? What are you?
I love music.
Okay.
So
What are some of the favorite music or artist or who's inspired you?
yeah, so for me, like like starting out, my parents are like big old school Bollywood fans. So like from Kishore to Rafi, all that we've heard when we were young. As I started growing up, like I loved Jagjit Singh, his voice, the poetry in the songs. Then slowly I started getting exposed to even more international culture, like artists, etc. So I love Coldplay, Maroon 5. These are some who I really enjoy.
Any lines that you remember or any favorite quote, lines or song that you remember?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing?
I don't mind. I can hum a few. I don't know how well I can sing, but I can hum
can
for
join
sure.
you.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think maybe then I'll sing "Fix You" with Coldplay.
Oh, that I don't know the lyrics.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go for this one. So it says, "When you try your best and you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired that you can't sleep." Yeah, that's.
That's the main line you didn't say.
Oh, no, there's a long verse and then it comes. I will try to fix you.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking out this.
Yeah.
I mean, I love, as much as I love Coldplay, but I'm very bad at lyrics. I just can't sing for that matter. I mean, I am basically a trained singer. I've learned 17 years of classical.
Then you should be singing,
But
and I
don't-
should have been the one listening.
So I don't. I mean, I don't mind singing, but not.
Yeah, so some lines that you would like to sing.
I mean, I enjoy ghazals of ghazals also too, but I love Hariharan for that matter because of the fact that he brings in a classical with Hindustani, and he blends both. So one of the things which I like is there is an album called as Kash. काश ऐसा कोई मंजिल होता मेरे कांधे पे तेरा सर होता काश ऐसा कोई मंजिल होता मेरे कांधे पे तेरा सर होता काश ऐसा कोई मंजिल होता.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So that's, I just wanted to basically discover another side of you, and that was the intent of having you sing also because ultimately I think music is something which I can say that if I was not in this industry, then I would have become definitely into the music field. And same that goes with if I need to connect to any point of time in my life backwards, I just need to play that song.
Yeah.
Like Kash, for example. I used to sleep once upon a time listening to Kash.
Nice.
Yeah. So and also if at all, same goes with anyone, right? For all you know, our exes also we remember with songs.
Yeah, I think music embeds memories in it, and I think just humming the songs bring back a lot of moments from yesteryears.
Absolutely. So, if people call you, are you a calm yogi or a crisis juggler?
No, I think Kama Yogi, I think.
Calm yogi?
Like the Gita is Kama Yogi, right? Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Work speaks hardest, I feel like. Working hard.
Yeah. What are those new Gen Z word that you've learned?
Oh my God, there are so many of these, but it's like every time I learn one, there's something else that comes up. I'm just
What is the
trying to
latest
remember.
learning?
Latest one.
They ask them. They know.
Yeah, if anybody knows Gen Z lingo,
Riz is the word.
Riz.
Okay, nice. Awesome. What is most relatable to you, basically? Endless revision, last minute brief, or endless Zoom calls?
Most relatable in the sense.
Like what the most you relate to? I think all of it, right?
Yeah, I think all three, because I think they're just like all interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's. I think the number of calls I wish I could reduce.
Amazing. Awesome. Cool, yeah, Siddhi. So I think we have done, and I've had some amazing chat and amazing insights from you.
Thank you.
And I love the calmness in you.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of calming me down. Yeah. And you know, I tried to pump you up with that song.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
But even after the song, you're still calm.
I'm quite, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should catch me on a Monday morning if you want to
Yeah.
see a more ruffled side.
Oh, I should ask Denzel maybe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking your
Thank
time and having come here and share your experiences. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get inspired with a lot of things that you said on this show, and I really look forward to meeting you outside this. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to the team. And thank you for thinking of a format like this and having this informal, candid chat.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.